Well, good morning and welcome everybody. My name is Bill Schmidt, and I have the honor and privilege of being the president and CEO of the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. I'm also really honored to have an incredible panel here with me, two amazing people. First of all, Dot Delarosa, who is our patient co-chair of this summit. She has put countless hours into helping us put this meeting together. And yeah, let's give her a big round of applause. I'm also very pleased to introduce Dana Ball, who is the executive director of Three Lakes Partners, our new partner in the fight against pulmonary fibrosis. I really believe our partnership with Three Lakes Partners is going to transform the PFF, but much more important, is going to transform our ability to serve this community. So Dana, thank you, and let's give him a round of applause. Well, as the video suggested, we believe this is a very promising time, that there's a lot of momentum in this community, in this field, and that it's growing. So what's different now? Why are we feeling that way? Well, first, we have more partners. We're partnering with Three Lakes, with the NIH, with academia, with companies. We have more knowledge about the disease than we've ever had before. There's more research being conducted than ever before, supported by NIH, Three Lakes, and the PFF. Some of you may have heard about the Precisions Grant, a $22 million grant that was just issued by the NHLBI, that's funded by an NHLBI and Three Lakes Partners. It's a very big deal for our community. PF research funding at the NHLBI has roughly doubled over the last 6 years. Not where we want it to be, but it's definitely trending in the right direction. We also have the patient registry, the PFF patient registry, which enrolled 2,000 patients. We have the PFF Care Center Network, which is now 68 centers around the country. So we're bringing tremendous assets to this fight. And there are more companies than ever before in the space, which is incredibly promising. As the slide behind me indicates, a major cause for hope is the robust pipeline of potential treatments. Over the past 20 years, we've seen a 500% increase in IPF clinical trials. I mean, that's incredible progress. Over the next 5 years, we could see several new treatments available for PF, each of them different from the other in terms of approach, which is also very exciting. So there is real cause for hope right now, and with your help, we're doing everything we can to facilitate these trials, facilitate the research. I'd now like to turn it over to Dana to talk about our partnership a little bit more and what we're doing in particular on awareness. Dana?
Okay. Thanks, Bill, and thank you all for welcoming me. I think I'm perhaps the newest member of the PF community. I joined Three Lakes 10 months ago, but you should know that I've spent 30 years doing this work, and I was part of the HIV and AIDS story that took a death sentence to a chronic managed disease, one pill at bedtime. In the past 20 years, I worked in type 1 diabetes and brought medical devices, artificial pancreas, stem cell therapies, and a lot of other smart technologies to market and transform the outcomes of that patient community. And I know through this partnership and with all of you, we can do it in IPF. So I'm very, very excited to be here. I'm thrilled to join Three Lakes Partners. What I would share about Three Lakes Partners is it was born out of loss, but it's driven by passion, relentless passion. And we hope to bring a sense of urgency to this fight. The pipeline that you just saw, the graph that Bill showed, so many therapies are heading towards the patient community, but we're not going to be ready to receive them if we don't take action. And there's a few things I want to talk about. Every patient, every person affected, and I mean the families, need to sign up for studies and trials. If you don't understand the importance of study and trials, that's something that we want to work on. We want to help everyone really understand how patients, families, individuals affected by pulmonary fibrosis can make a real difference, how you can be a hero, because that big pipeline is coming towards our community, and we have to ask ourselves, are we prepared? So another big problem is time to diagnosis. Every time I talk to someone, and my family, the family founder and the family behind Three Lakes Partners share their story about misdiagnosis. This is a serious health issue. If we don't improve time to diagnosis, we're not going to be able to stop the progression of this disease, and we will be fighting an uphill battle. The earlier we can diagnose, the better. And the earlier we diagnose, the better these drugs and future drugs are going to work to transform people's life and improve their quality of life. Critical for quality of life and for an individual's and a family's existence. So what do we think at Three Lakes is the #1 problem we need to solve? If you can pull up the slide. We think it's awareness. How do you solve a problem that no one knows exists? And I share with everyone, when I got the phone call to talk to the Three Lake Partners family, they said, were you interested? I said, yeah, I'm curious, what's the disease? They said, IPF, and I said, what's IPF, right? That's a major problem. Nobody says that in cancer or diabetes or anyone else. You know what the disease is. So with the backing of the family, and again, driven, passionate, in risk. We're not risk adverse. We want to take big, bold actions, and we're willing to do something completely different and out of the box. So perhaps you've seen 2 characters floating around the conference. These are the characters, Norm and Jennifer. They were born out of this desire to break down the barriers of just talking about breathless and just talking about this disease as the way it has been presented in the past. These characters were designed to model the stories we heard from every family, caregiver, and patient. And they're very welcoming. They create empathy. And so it's been very exciting. We created the characters. We needed a home and a place to send people that we would connect with. The PFF was the logical choice. So together we've been working since mid-September. We launched this campaign in September in Chicago. And it's pretty remarkable. If we want to go to the next slide. Let's take a minute and listen to Norm.
Come here, listen to this. Started a couple of years ago.
He thought it was just a cough, but it didn't go away. And then he started to have a hard time catching his breath.
So they treated me for bronchitis.
And emphysema and asthma.
Then they tell me I got COPD.
And they start treating him for that.
And my cough's still driving me nuts.
So finally, I drag him to a pulmonologist.
That's someone who specializes in lung diseases. And the doc says to me, you don't have COPD. You got pulmonary fibrosis. Perfect. 2 years. They treat me for all the wrong diseases.
So we say, pulmonary fibrosis, is that serious? And the doctor says, yeah, it's very serious. But there are treatments.
Oh, then the doc says I wish you to come to see me sooner. You know something? So do I.
Pulmonary fibrosis. The sooner you know, the better.
Sorry.
So how many... So I have to ask, how many people resonate with this story of misdiagnosis? So show of hands, how many people in the audience? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard numbers as high as 50%. I think it could be more. This is a major problem. These are some data points I wanted to share, but what I'm going to do is give you an update on these data points because these are a week old, and we're really happy to share with you all that because of this campaign, Google reached out to us and said, we like your work so much, and we like what you're doing. We want to help you find more people. So the most recent numbers are, we've sent 140,000 people to a PFF Three Lakes Partners splash page. 564,000 people have viewed these videos. 8,300 have shared the videos. We have about 1,000 people that have signed up and sent their emails. They're now in the hands of the foundation to follow up with. And 8,500 as of last week downloaded the risk list and have started to take their journey in figuring out why are they coughing and what's next. So that's my story. But it's really all about patients and caregivers and families, so I'm really happy to hand this off to you, Dot.
Oh, thank you so much. Dana, we are so grateful to be here. First of all, thank you. The PFF, because of the PFF, because of Three Lakes, it gives us patients hope. That's why we do what we do. Just like the video, misdiagnosed, asthma, you know, it wasn't anything serious. I thought I was gonna take a pill and be better. And it turned out to be IPF, not knowing that I was living with this deadly cough. So all of our patients and as caregivers were affected by this terrible, horrible disease. And thanks to the PFF and thanks to Three Lakes, it gives us hope. Not just for us now, but for the future generations, because isn't that why we do this? For our future generations, to give them hope that they don't have to struggle like we have, that they don't have to suffer and live hopeless. We were hopeless, but now we have hope. And so we're so grateful, and it makes us angry. You know, us patients, we're angry about it because what can be done? You know, but thank God that since I was diagnosed in 2008 to now, at least there's something. And we hope, and my hope is that I won't need another transplant, that there will be a cure. And because of these partnerships, it gives me hope. And it gives hope to our support group, and it gives hope to patients and caregivers and those that are suffering with this terrible disease. It gives us hope. So we're so grateful. So on behalf of us patients and caregivers, together, we're fighting this disease. And I think we should just get angry. What do you think? We should just say, "Rawr!" You know, just be angry about this because, you know, we're so grateful that we need someone to just help us and stand with us. And together, we're gonna find a cure. We will find a cure. I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really key point. I mean, we know that no single organization or single sector of the community is going to solve this problem, and we've really got to all come together and unify in a way we never have before. So that's a great message. We agree. Great. Well, thank you both very much, and hope all of you have a great day at the summit, and we're looking forward to the plenary session. So thank you.